All right, I'm on Christmas break. I got like 2 weeks off. So I think I'm gonna change the format of the channel a little bit. I do like a video a month, you know, like half-hour long videos, and honestly, I think people lose interest. People who are more successful in YouTube, it seems like they kick out a video like at least once a week, maybe even every couple of days, maybe every day. So just kind of for fun, I think over the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna try to put out a smaller video like every day. And we'll just see how that goes, just for a change of pace. I'm really not too concerned about views and subscribers, but I just thought this might be fun. So what I'm gonna do today is this bug we've been building for my son Connor, and I wanted to get a VW to drive every day. Maybe not every day, but like regularly, not just on sunny 75-degree days. So I started looking for older VWs. Just thinking back in my life in the last 30 years, there's been big chunks of my life where I drove an old VW every day to work, to college, to high school, and I never really had a lot of breakdowns. And the breakdowns that I have had have been things that you can easily fix on the road. For example, off the top of my head, broken throttle cable. You carry a throttle cable and an 8mm wrench with you, and there you go. Clutch cable. I blew an oil line one time on a remote oil filter, and that was, my fault, not the car's. So there we go. I'm gonna start driving an old VW. So I started looking on Marketplace for an old VW, and I found this Ghia, which is in very good condition. Stock engine, semi-automatic transmission. That's the biggest bummer, but it runs okay. Needs a tune-up, needs some things. But over this Christmas break, I plan on, I skipped a step, I'm sorry. Bringing this car home, my son kind of fell in love with it, and we got talking a little bit, and we decided to trade. So the Ghia is now Connor's, and the Bug is now mine again. This is like the 4th time this car has been mine. So that's kind of cool. What I'm doing today is because this used to be a fair weather vehicle, it's got no heat, basically, is the short version. So I plan on putting heat back in this car, and that involves heater boxes. We already started pulling it apart a little bit, taking some things out. So I got to put heater boxes back on this car, and this car has heater boxes. And this car is going to be our fair weather vehicle. So I'm going to put these J-tubes over there, those heater boxes here. That's step 1. Step 2 is I got to get a fan shroud with the heater outlets and the breastplate with the holes in it, or I can drill holes in mine. Maybe I could steal that breastplate, not sure. So that's the main thing. The other thing is these Kadrons I borrowed from a friend of mine like 6 months ago. I got to get them back. It ran okay with Kadrons. A lot of people love Kadrons. I personally am just not a big fan of them. I'm not going to get into why, but I've just never really liked the way Kadrons ran. As a reminder, this is a 1600 new heads. I think it's an angle 100 cam, so it's mild. Counterweighted crank, light flywheel, so it revs up good. The Kadrons made a huge difference in power. I'm just not a fan of the way they ride. But anyway, while I'm pulling off fan shrouds and stuff, I'll pull the carbs off. And I have a pair of 40 IDF Webers here. And I'm sure they need a rebuild. I got to get a rebuild kit on the way. But they're actually pretty clean. And 40s aren't really good for bigger builds. I was going to put them on a 1915 that I'm building for that car, but I think 44s would run better on that, so I'm going to keep my eyes open for them. So long story short, too late. That's what we're doing, getting this more road ready for winter, and we'll probably do a 4-speed swap on that over the Christmas break. I got some other things going on. I got some race car stuff coming up. Want to change the tire on that Ford 2N there. That needs an engine rebuild and some other things. I'm not sure we're going to get to that over break. And there's always stuff I could do on the buggy, which is out here right now. through these filthy windows. Yeah, there's the buggy. So we got stuff to do, so I'm gonna get started. All right, disassembly's done. It's not a terrible thing to pull the cooling system apart once in a while because you never know if mice are moving in there. So I wouldn't say it's necessary to pull the fan shroud off once in a while, but I don't hate it for that reason. Kadrons are ready to go back to my friend. Fan shroud over there, I'm probably gonna use on the Gia because this is one that I welded up the heater outlets, whatever you wanna call them, blower outlets. So we'll put that in there. That's an ugly engine that needs some cleanup. But I'm pretty sure I got a fan shroud in the back that's already painted and everything to stick back on this. Going through my carbs here, seeing what we got, seeing what I need to buy, if I need a rebuild kit or anything. They're actually in really good shape. I don't think they have very many run hours on them at all. There's a little bit of white powder in there, but that's to be expected in any carburetor in this day and age. Checked the jetting, wrote it all down. Cleaning up my manifolds. Now, something to look out for. I've been seeing a lot lately. These gaskets here look fine. Bolt pattern's right. Holes are right. But if you look, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can kind of see through there. They're too small. The hole, the big hole, is way too small. And you could have the best carbs in the world, but with that restrictor plate in there, it's not going to run worth a crap. So make sure these gaskets work when you're playing with them. I'm gonna see if I have any of the right ones, or maybe I can, well, I don't want to reuse these, but I could trim them if they were new. I could trim them, but anyway, this one I pulled apart. Doesn't look like I need much of anything. I checked the accelerator diaphragm. That's nice and soft. I think these are gonna work. Carb one rebuilt, float set, cleaned, all that. Carburetor number 2. Weber window. This side's a little harder to do that. The other side could use one, but I don't like to chop up cars unless there's a good reason for it. Right there. That's hitting. I think I'm gonna dimple that a little bit. Gotta make sure 100% that carb clamps down nice and square. Calibrator 9000. All right, we got a coil mount made. Just quick out of a block of aluminum. I don't have the throttle cable hooked up. I got the wiring kind of roughed in. I'm gonna have to tidy up some wiring because the coil's in a different place now, but it's gonna take a minute to fill up the float bowls and stuff, but I'm gonna have Connor turn the key over and I'm gonna work the throttle. Again. All right, we got a running car again. We just got to tune the carbs and that's it, tune the carbs. To finish the rest of the engine, we got to get the heater boxes on and then run hoses from there to the heater boxes, there to heater boxes. Figure out what we're going to do for the breastplate, and figure out, and I mean, with aftermarket exhausts, I found that a lot of times the tube, like if you buy the breastplate or whatever it's called that has the hole in it already, sometimes this tube wants to go right straight into the exhaust. So sometimes you can drill the hole over here more and kind of jog around the exhaust. So I'm not going to do that until I have the heater boxes on. But Kadron to Weber conversion and fan shroud change is done. Took all day. All right, see what we're gonna do tomorrow.